Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Excalibur podcast. I'm Lila Plummer, and here we'll be interviewing all kinds of artists from across McCallum and hear what they've been working on, how they do it, and how their work has been affected by the global pandemic, and a lot more. So today's episode is super special. You may know him from his band Phony, Micromoon, or even Excalibur's Coffee House. To talk all about that and his brand new EP, we have senior musician Will Dooley. Hi, Will.
Hello, Lila. Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited to hear about the EP. So it just came out, and what can you tell us about it?
Well, it came out November, I want to say 10th. I think that's right. Sometime around there. It was forever ago.
It was October 30th.
Oh, okay. It released on October 30th. Yeah, I don't keep up with local musicians. I don't even know when their stuff comes out. Yeah, it came out on October 30th. I've been working on it for a little over a year. It's been a pretty long project for me, and I was just very excited to finally put something out, even though it's like, I guess for all artists, it's like what you put out isn't always exactly what you had in your head, but I just wanted to get something out there, and I'm glad most of my kind of ideas I was able to put out.
So you said you've been working on it for over a year, which is crazy. What was like the beginning? Like what started this idea of releasing an EP?
Well, I wrote the first song for the first Micromoon concert, and two of them for that. They were in very different forms than they are on the EP, but the very first song that I wrote was Pearls. It was not called that. It was called Face, was the demo name of it. Very, very interesting, I know. And the second song that I wrote was Brains. And those two I performed at Micromoon, along with a third one that was just not included. And my friend Mason, he came over to work on music with me, and I said, hey, here's some demos that I'm working on. Pretty cool, right? He was like, if you don't turn this into an EP, it's over. We're no longer friends. Figure it out. I said, okay. And the following EP happened. It was very much as much of a Mason effort as it was Will. He did everything else besides make the music, and I appreciate him greatly for that.
Aww. Who or what inspired these songs and this project?
It's really, the project is a story, and it's it's completely based off of my end of my sophomore year and my junior year of high school. And it's not a very cohesive story, but the general themes are there. And yeah, it just comes from relationships with friends and romantic relationships and school and a lot of different things. But yeah, that's where it all came from.
If you had to pick a song that like means the most to you, do you know which one it would be?
Probably Lose You Again is my it's definitely my favorite. It's the one I took the most time in making, which is probably what makes it mean so much to me. All games like Hasbro ain't what it has been. Got me on Tabasco, sweatpants, fashion, Lego, Star Wars, Lego, same old, stuck in the car door, lost in the drugstore, feeling like a hassle, friendship bracelet on my wrist, yeah, don't sniff this me, on your fist, knuckles on blisters, everything's twisted, sick of all stigma.
That's very understandable. Was that the song that was most fun to create?
I would say that or Second Best. Since Second Best was just a very, short, fun song. I mean, I'm sure anyone who listens to it can tell it was very in the moment song. Took me about 20 minutes to make. Just had a very quick idea, made it into a song, and that's what happened with Second Best. But yeah,
Was that the fastest song to
that's probably the
create?
fastest I've ever made a song. Yes, a complete song. I've come up with ideas in just a couple minutes, but
It
finishing a song in
is.
about 20 minutes was a challenge. It wasn't the goal, but I was surprised that I did it.
That is a fun song.
It is very
Is
short.
is there a part of it or a song that you're the most proud of, or
Um, Proud of is probably Lose You Again,
that
just
makes
because of how
sense?
complicated it is.
Yeah.
Um, and also, it originally didn't have. My friend Mason is also on that song as Shut Us Speed. That's his artist name. Yes, you can find him Spotify, Apple Music as well. I'm working with him to release another EP at the moment, um, under his name, and yeah, Lose You Again was definitely challenging.
Yeah, when can we expect to see new work from the two of you?
Well, it's gonna be there. I can't exactly say when right now, especially with the pandemic getting much worse. It's harder to collaborate. It was hard before, but it's even harder now. We really got to capitalize on the time that we have, which is sometimes hard to do. Um, but I would guess, mm, probably towards the end of the school year is the earliest. Around May maybe, because of I'm getting a lot done with myself, and I'm starting to slowly flesh out ideas for another project. I don't know what form that'll take, but yeah, probably towards the end of the school year is the earliest.
Well, we'll definitely keep our eyes out for that. You mentioned how it was hard to collaborate, but have there been any more challenges working during quarantine and during the pandemic?
Um, Collaboration is the main one, but I mean, also for a different reason. I work very well with other people, and it helps me create better stuff by myself, not just working with other people to create something with two people instead of one. It's very good for me as well to have someone else and their ideas, because I can get very in my head about, oh, this sounds terrible, don't do it, and I really overthink a lot of things. And also, I make some stuff that I think is good because I listen to it like 30 times trying to get it right. And then I need someone to be like, no, that's stupid. Figure something else out. Which is, it's just very good to have someone else there, a different voice and opinion,
Who's
which is very
usually
difficult.
who's usually the person telling you that it sucks and that it needs to be better?
Mason.
You really,
He is, yes, I know I've talked about him a lot, but he is truly, he keeps me in check, and he'll also, I know I can trust him, and he will tell me if something is good or not. And if he knows how thinks it can be improved, he'll tell me. If he's like, this sucks, but I don't know why, figure it out, then I trust
well,
him.
glad that helps you. Hopefully, it gives you some positive
Definitely
feedback
does.
too.
Oh, he does. He'll let me know when something's good too. And I always take his opinion, as an opinion,
Of
because not
course.
everyone's gonna have the exact same music taste as me and same ideas. But I think that's the biggest thing over quarantine has been getting more confident in myself and having to rely on others less for their feedback, and just figuring out myself, okay, trust yourself. This is good. You got this.
That's definitely a thing that lots of artists struggle with. So that's great that you
Yeah.
gotten more confident within yourself. So obviously, I think a lot of our listeners know about Phony, but how is this your own personal work different than your work with Phony?
Well, definitely takes a lot of, you'll hear a lot of similarities. Phony stuff is, all the production is mine. And all the chords, melodies, even all the instruments playing, everything is mine besides the vocals. So that's, the first two albums were really me finding my sound as a producer, and then as a solo artist taking on this EP, vocal stuff, whole nother challenge. But producing stuff, it's really helped to solidify my sound.
What's been the most rewarding part of releasing your own EP all by yourself?
That's a great question. I think you kind of answered it there. It's knowing that I released this thing all by myself. And, I had some help from some other people along the way, but not as significant as in a band. But it's very rewarding knowing that I put so much time into this and finally seeing it released and for everyone to hear. It's incredible. I'll never get over that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Have you gotten lots of good feedback from your friends and your family?
Yeah, I've gotten some great feedback. Yeah, it's always good to have a group of people that you can rely on consistently to give you honest feedback, not rude feedback, but honest. And I mean, it's been mixed, but mostly positive. I would say, 80-20, but in the 20 isn't like, oh, this EP sucks, do better. It's just like, they're just saying things like, oh, it would have been really cool if you did this. Or, this would be cool if you did this instead. It's like, okay, these are all things that I'm learning from and taking into my next project in whatever form that will take.
That's awesome. Has anything surprised you after releasing it? Like friends you haven't heard from in years reaching out, or?
Yes, that definitely happened. Quite a few of them. And it was strange, but I'm also surprised at how big it's gotten. I wouldn't say it's gotten big, but I didn't really expect it to perform at all. And I'm just happy that people are actually listening to it, because that's all I care about right now. Like, as a high schooler, I don't care about making money off of this. Like, it just makes me really happy to see that people are actually listening to my stuff, whether they're my mom or some random person in Russia. We have a Russian listener. I don't know them.
Shout out to the
I'll take
Russian
it. Shout out
listeners.
Russia. But it's it really drives me as an artist just to know that like anyone is actually listening to my stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Which song do you think is getting the best reaction? Is there one that stands out that's getting a great reaction from people?
Probably Brains. That's the most played one on all platforms. It is the first song on the album. But Lose You Again is a very close second. And so probably that.
Is it you? Is it me? Why are you turning into this mystery? My heart, it burns. I want to get out of my head. Of a Is it you? Is it me? Why are you turning me to this mystery?
Yeah.
That is the one I put the most time into.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, we saw the Brains intro to the EP. Can we expect to see any more videos from it?
Yeah. I was going to go shoot music videos This I don't even know what day is it. 30th.
Yes.
So 29th and 28th, I was going to do music videos, but I have broken my toe
Oh
at this point in
no.
time. You knew this.
Well, I'm trying to act like, should I be acting like I like don't know you? I don't know. Because I know this is
Um,
the, okay. I know all the
oh
questions. I know
no.
the answers to this.
Yes, I was going to do it the weekend of the 28th and 29th, continue the music video kind of story, but I broke my toe, and unfortunately, so now we are trying to plan ahead, see when we can do it next. I'm getting more people that are like reaching out to me saying, I want to do a music video for blank song. And that's another thing that means a lot to me. People are like, I like what you do. Let me add to it. Like, I want to add my own vision to yours, which is one of the greatest compliments I can receive, is because it's just like, I think this art is good. Let's work together to make another good thing with what you've
Yeah,
made, which
that's awesome.
it's incredible.
If you could work with one person, I know you were talking about the collaboration with the videos. If you could work with one person in any field of the music industry, who would it be?
Are we talking alive or
It doesn't
both?
have to be. You can pick both.
Let's see. I want to work with Michael Jackson.
That would
Who's
be
alive? I would work with Michael
good.
Jackson. He's a genius. But a live artist, if there's someone right now that I would really want to work with, I'd love to work with The Weeknd sometime. He makes some incredible music. Either him or maybe probably Rex Orange County as well. I feel like we have similar styles with some differences, but I think he's a very smart musician. I mean, he's incredibly popular. He hasn't gotten popular through, a Disney show. He's gotten popular because his music is incredible. And yeah, I think he'd be a very smart, good collaborator to work with.
So obviously, I've learned that collaboration is a big thing for you. Who else are you collaborating with or looking forward to collaborating with?
Well, my friend Mason and I and Giovanni, another friend who goes under the name of Reali, he released an EP as well. It's very good. Mace produced all of it. It's really, really, really good. And I'm just saying that completely, if I didn't know this guy, it's incredible. It's really, really good. It's called Baby Teeth, and it is a great EP. But yeah, so we have a collective called Camp Van Sant that we're using as a label, but also as a creative source. This has been a plan for me and Mason for probably about a year and a half now. And, we were finally going to make it happen this year over the summer, but it just, pandemic stuff, wasn't able to do it. So we have a few people now that we're trying to get stuff started with, but it's really difficult to collaborate. So it's really just us, but we're really trying to get more people in because we just want to have a creative community just to get together and make cool stuff.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. What is your average process for creating a song? Do you start with lyrics or guitar? I want to hear about your
Yeah,
process.
I'm classically trained on guitar, so that's been kind of my go-to instrument for forever. And so I usually start with something there, just a set of chords. And then I kind of figure that out, like, oh, this would be interesting. I'll figure out a little melody over it, and then just put that onto my DAW. And then I would figure out some sort of simple drum part, bass line. Lyrics usually for me come after I have pretty simple, guitar, bass, drums, some sort of synth thing, just general layout for usually the chorus. I usually figure that out first because that's kind of how I write stuff, from the chorus out, and then break it down a little bit for the verses. But Yeah, that's where I start, and then I build off lyrics from there, and then record the lyrics, and then figure out everything else for the song.
That's very cool. Do you to come up with your lyrics, do you take moments from your own life or feelings or just make it all up usually? What inspires those?
Definitely a mix, especially with this EP where it's, it's based off of my life. There's some kind of stuff thrown in there, like I didn't shove someone out of my moving car, but it's funny and it gets across the point that I need it to. So yeah, that song definitely inspired by real life events. But yeah, so definitely a mix.
Who are your biggest lyrical or musical inspirations?
Um,
Oh, we heard a couple, but
who? Michael Jackson, Rex Orange County.
yeah.
Well, Rex Orange County for sure. Let's see. I like Black Pumas a lot. I like let's see, The Weeknd. Those are probably my biggest like artist inspirations.
That's awesome. Oh, I had such a good question. Oh, for your future works that you've been mentioning, like, is the sound going to be similar to the EP and Phony, or are you trying to pave a new way and try something else?
I'm going to build off of that. It's not going to be the same. I don't know what direction it's going to go, but it's not going to be the same. It's going to be like truly a new project. It's not going to be a continuation of the EP. Now I know what people like as well, so that will factor into my musical choices. It's not going to control it, but it's definitely going to factor into it. And yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a new sound. So we're going to see what happens.
That sounds really exciting. So before you go, where can we keep up with you and your music?
Oh yeah, so I have an Instagram. It's Will Dooley with 3 O's because the other Will Dooley is taken. Very frustrating. And that is my kind of official music page on Instagram. Let's see, on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, any music streaming service, I am there. You can find me as Will Dooley and the
With
following
2 O's
EP.
this time?
With 2 O's, like a normal Will Dooley. Yes.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Thanks for talking to me, Will.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I'm very excited to hear what you have in the future.
Yes, me too.
Hey, y'all. Grayson here. Thank you for coming to the second episode. It really means a lot to us and me personally. Just wanted to give y'all a little update that unfortunately, due to it being 2020 and all, with the overwhelming issues and such, Lila Plummer has decided to not do the alternating episodes for the podcast, which is entirely cool, entirely fine. And yeah, it'll just be me from now till whenever I either find another host or if I decide that it's not as overwhelming as previously considered. I might just continue to do this. Well, I just wanted to give a big thank you to Lila, and sorry if I mispronounced your last name. I didn't even think about that. And yeah, have a good day, y'all. A good week. I hope to be posting these weekly.